Hey guys, let's get more news about Lakers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. LeBron James calls on Lakers players to accept full accountability for recent struggles. LeBron James and the Lakers are extremely frustrated with their team right now. After their 134-93 blowout loss to the Heat, LeBron James spoke about where the team is going wrong and who needs to be held accountable. James noted that the blame falls on his shoulders, along with the entire Lakers squad, and he encouraged them to take accountability for their actions and start figuring things out individually. When you're individually king up and you're trying to rely on everybody else to cover for you, I think it starts with individuals first. All of us have to take accountability. LeBron James spoke after the game and noted that JJ Redick was not to be blamed for this recent slump. But he also addressed several other matters, which you can read below. How to fix what is going wrong with the Lakers. There's no schemes or XSNOS that can get you through that if you don't want to come to compete. There are other issues. How to address their problems, we gotta figure it out. It's definitely embarrassing, for sure. What went wrong in the third quarter? Everything. On the Lakers' poor communication, I just think the level of communication is not as good as it needs to be. So many great teams out here. Anytime you make a mistake, especially with us, and things are going to get competitive. We have horrible communication and they made us pay. How this disappointing two-game stretch has felt, it sucks to get your hooped like that 2 games in a row. On his return to the Miami Heat, it's a blessing for sure. To be able to have fans when I'm in their home arena. Obviously, I have a lot of ties here. A lot of fans still, from the time I played here. Loved my time when I was here. It's always a great feeling when you come back to this building. Whether players do not understand the game plan from Redick, yeah. We've been preaching it since July. There should be an understanding. LeBron James did have a decent game himself, bouncing back from his poor run of form with 29 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds, and 1 steal. But he did give the ball away 5 times, which was a disappointing sight to see. James is a veteran in this league. And while he will undoubtedly be frustrated with the run of form the Lakers are on, he won't lose his composure. He seemed to be confident that the Lakers would do better but mentioned that the team needed to work hard to fix their problems. Disastrous, the Lakers have been defeated in their last 2 games by a total margin of 70 points. The Lakers had a tough week, suffering a 29-point loss in Minnesota on Monday and a 41-point loss in Miami on Wednesday. Together, these losses mark the worst 2-game stretch in Lakers history. The Lakers were beaten 134-93 by the Heat on Wednesday, just 2 days after losing 109-80 to the Timberwolves. The combined 70-point margin of defeat is the largest for the Lakers in any 2-game span. Their previous worst was a 67-point margin over 2 games during the 2016-17 season. It sucks, for sure, to get your butt hooped like that twice in a row, said Lakers star LeBron James. For sure. The Lakers had been on a 6-game winning streak last month, reaching a 10-4 record. Since then, they've gone 2-6, with 4 of those losses by 25 or more points. Wednesday's loss was especially tough. It wasn't just their worst loss of the season, but only the 11th time in Lakers history that they've lost by more than 40 points in over 6,800 games, including playoffs. I'm embarrassed, said Lakers coach JJ Redick. We're all embarrassed. In his first year as coach, Redick's current record is 12-10, and this rough stretch has been his hardest so far. After the game, he took responsibility, saying, "I'll take all the ownership in the world. This is my team and I lead it." However, he also mentioned that the team is struggling with the basic aspects of the game plan. "There's not a sense for me that we're together right now," Redick said. "And that's what we say in the huddle. Doesn't feel that way. Doesn't feel that way." We're in a tough stretch and we're all trying to find it. Against Miami, the Lakers were outscored 72-15 from three-point range, a 57-point difference that tied the fourth largest in NBA history. We're having trouble right now on both ends with base-level game plan stuff, Redick said. It's odd. It's very odd. Anthony Davis had his worst game of the season on Monday, scoring just 12 points. He did even worse on Wednesday, finishing with only 8 points on 3 for 14 shooting. Guys are doing their part. I'm not doing mine, which is just tough for our team, Davis said. I just have to play better individually on both ends. I hold myself to a higher standard and I haven't been doing what I needed to do, especially offensively for our team. James agreed with everything Redick said, and Davis used the same word his coach had repeated multiple times. Embarrassing, Davis said. James hopes the rest of the team takes responsibility too. He said that his 22 years in the league have taught him not to get too high during good times or too low during bad ones. However, these back-to-back losses are something he's never experienced before. The Lakers will play at Atlanta on Friday, then host Portland on Sunday, before getting a break with a few days off. The NBA Cup quarterfinals on December 10th and 11th give teams not advancing to the knockout stage time to practice and find solutions. When you're individually messing up and you're trying to rely on everybody else to cover for you, I think it starts with the individual first, James said. All of us have to take accountability. Lakers predicted to trade $19 million guard for Nets defensive specialist. The Los Angeles Lakers are one of the best bets to be active ahead of the NBA's February 6 trade deadline, which is now just over 1 month away. The market will begin to heat up in the coming weeks, with LA almost certain to look to add a piece, likely in the form of a big man to play alongside Anthony Davis and alleviate some of the pressure on him to perform at an all-star level on defense every night while also carrying the bulk of the load offensively. Names like center Jonas Valanciunas of the Washington Wizards are firmly in the mix, though as likely as it is for the Lakers to pursue a bruiser on the interior, some analysts deem it all but certain that Los Angeles will also trade away one of its playmakers on the outside. D'Angelo Russell has already lost his starting job and has an expiring $19 million salary that makes him an ideal trade chip, Grant Hughes of Bleacher Report wrote on Tuesday, December 3. The Brooklyn Nets are outperforming their roster at the moment but are also looking to finish at the bottom of the standings ahead of a loaded 2025 draft class. As such, they are likely to borrow a page from the Utah Jazz's playbook from the last couple of trade deadlines and deal some starting quality talent for future assets/expiring contracts in order to build for the future while also getting worse in the immediate. Hughes stopped short of predicting which player the Nets might include in a trade with the Lakers centered around Russell's $19 million expiring deal, though he mentioned 4 in particular who will be at the forefront of any conversations. There are plenty of intriguing options between Dorian Finney-Smith, Cam Johnson, Nick Claxton, and even old friend Dennis Schroeder, Hughes continued. Johnson would add intriguing stretch from the forward spot, while Claxton, likely the costliest out of the bunch, would give the Lakers the defense-first big man they always seem to be seeking as a complement to Anthony Davis. Brooklyn's variety of trade chips will potentially allow the Lakers to decide what suits them best, adding Claxton on the front line to alleviate the burden on Davis, or adding a player like Johnson who can defend on the perimeter but also bring three-point shooting to lineups featuring LeBron James, which are most of the best ones for Los Angeles. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Nick Claxton? Leave your opinion in the comments.